What is going on? What is going on? What is going on, party people? It's your boy, Coach D Brown, former big leaguer, former first round pick with the Kansas City Royals. Giving you everything I can in this young youth baseball space, helping kids get maximum exposure in and around the country and helping them get into schools. If you need any help, holla at me. All right. Man, I got a hot week coming on. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday we had Payne College, Division II school out of Georgia on. Today, I'm joined with my boy. I'm gonna mention him in a minute. Give me a minute, and then tomorrow I got one of my former teammates and proud. He comes on the show all the time. My boy Vic Radcliffe is coming back on, and then we got Wiley College head coach and recruiting coordinator coming on Thursday, man. So we feel, man, this week, man. But today, I'm joined by my boy, man. I've known my boy for over 20 some years, man. We go way back. He knew me as a young pup in this game. Real good friend of mine. I've known him and talked and we remained friends for a very long time. He worked for he's a professional ball player back in the day and went into the Nike, working for Nike and helping us knucklehead young ball players out with equipment and just knowing the game, and a good friend that I could talk to, understood the game. And, used to hook all the family up with gear and everything in the Nike days, man. So we go way back, man. And, man, so he got into this, what we're going to talk about, strobe training some years back, and it was doing fairly well, man. You got big leaguers using it, got different, people using this. And it's, I only felt right. And that's what I'm here to do is just help give you guys, not only the college and the recruiting and the big leaguers, the scouts and all of that, but all the necessary training, devices or softwares or anything that you may need to get your kid to the next level. So I'm joined by my boy Mike Cavers, man, out there in AZ right now. Mike, what's going on, family? How are you, man?
Hey, everything's good, man. Beautiful. It's like 70 degrees or so today. So all you people in the cold, yeah, it's on you. I've known D forever, and I tell you, the best part about D is you walk in the room, you just see that smile, and he just like, he owns the room. He gets in there. I always love working with D, man. You're a good man, good heart.
No doubt, man. And like I said, we go back, man. Knowing this dude since I was 20 years old, 21 years old, man. We go way back that far, man. But Mike, man, my people know about me, man. I love to hear. They need to know about you, man, and where you're from. All my guests, I try to give a little timeline and to where you are now, man. So if you could, Mike, tell playing career all the way through your career as now with strobe training.
You got it now. Thank you, D. Yeah, so I grew up in Texas, in Houston, went to high school there, played high school baseball, went on to college, small school, Southwestern University in Georgetown, and give it up for the small schools because we would take on the big schools, University of Texas and Houston and TCU, and we would hang up, hang in there with them and win. So I know when D, you're talking about all these schools, and it doesn't have to be the big D1 school, it could be smaller schools. Get there, get your reps, and you have that athletic ability. It will rise. You will be found, and you get to keep playing. So I went to small school, 1,200 students. I'm a little older now, so my teammates were Mike Timlin and Mike Stanton, both pitchers, and both those guys amazingly are in the top 10 all time in games and appearances for pitchers.
Really?
It's a long career. Timlin has 4 World Series rings. Yeah,
both of those guys are great relief pitchers, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then after that, I was fortunate to get to play with the Orioles, with Baltimore's organization as a pitcher, and I was there from 87 to 91. I got released. So last couple of years in AA and winter down in the Dominican Republic, and this really was fortunate to play as long as I did. And then after that, I did a couple of things, and then I was fortunate to work for Nike. So I went to Nike. I was there about 15 years. As D said, working with all the professional baseball players, with the agents, and trying to find out who are the young cats that Nike needs to sign. And you look at, and D Brown was one of those young cats that we needed to sign. And with the great representation with CAA, some fantastic people, so you need young athletes. If you're fortunate enough to go to the next level, that's a top-notch group to work with, if you can. So after Nike, I got out and I kind of got out of sports. I got burned out a little bit. Just some of the business is kind of shady in baseball. Unfortunately, there's a lot of good folks, but there's some bad folks that don't always have the best interests of the player at heart. And D, you've been there and you know it. And so young guys, listen to D, because he's able to shed some light on some things that go right and go wrong. And you just listen to the guys that have been there before. So I got back into sports, and I got into someone that said, hey, hold tight. We got this technology coming out to strobe training, and I'm going to show you the glasses here. So I'm going to turn them on real quick.
Okay.
All right. And you can see that. So what this is, and this is all, and there's a couple different models here. So this is all science, what this does. So Nike actually came out with the original strobe glasses, the Nike Vapor Strobe, about 2012 or so. Okay. And it was a hit, and a lot of folks got it, but then Nike ended up getting out of the business. Just the margins weren't that great. And the part about it, Nike did a horrible job of educating people how to use it. Very limited. It cost me a tennis ball back and forth, do that. Okay. That's super limited what you can do. So I've taken on, this is the third generation of the glasses. They've improved considerably. But what I've done is, whether it's baseball, it's football, it's MMA, it's golf, it's soccer, this applies to all sports in which we want to have a better reaction time, better focus, and better body awareness or balance. And those are all key traits for an athlete. And so if you have those key traits and you build on it on a foundation of speed and strength, you're going to be unstoppable. You're an MVP. You're an all-star. So, I kind of go back and look at myself as a player and my shortcomings, and I ask everyone, and I'll ask you. So when you're going real well as a player, what's going through your mind when you're playing well?
Nothing. See ball, hit ball. Nothing really. I ain't got too much clutter going on in my brain, bro.
See and react. Exactly. Now, 1 week later, 2 weeks later, same D Brown. He can run just as fast, throw just as far, jump just as high. And you're scuffling. Now it's going through your head.
Man, what's this guy throwing me? What's going on? Why's my swing? My hands are underneath the ball. What's going on? Get on top of the ball. Make sure my timing is right. All of that is in my head.
Too many thoughts. The see and react is gone. And now you're scuffling. So are you scuffling because of bad mechanics? Or did bad mechanics make you scuffle? So which came first? So the cool thing with the strobe glasses here, they do a couple things, is when we take away information from the brain, we're training the brain through the eyes, that the brain responds where it has to work faster to go get its food. Okay, so after we train with these, it's going to seem like things are more in slow motion. All that is we're training the brain to work faster. Let's say from a 3G to a 5G processor, for your phones. Now, as we continue to improve and be successful, we'll turn up the occlusion and make it longer. Okay, so this is a little more difficult, but what happens? The brain continues to speed up, and we're able to train the brain to work faster. But the part on focus, and I talked to you about when you're going good and going bad, it's really what's going through your head, because physically you're the same guy. So what happens is you're allowing all this extra stimuli and thoughts into your brain. I consider your brain like a Bugatti, Aston Martin, you name the car. Okay. All right. And so when everything's in place and the car's running fine, you're making all the turns, you're making all the right moves. Now, when something is getting in your head and loosening up the lug nuts, or cracking open the door, or now the muffler's dragging, there's somebody on your roof. Now he's trying to drive that same Bugatti down the road and try to make those turns. It's tough to do. So what strobe training does on the focus side is by taking away info, okay, we're making the brain, the bandwidth narrow. And so you can't, process all the other stuff. You get down to that see and react. And that's what we want to do. And that's what we want to repeat over and over, is get into that see and react. So we can train the brain to have better focus. Think about the athletes that have just amazing focus. Think of Tiger Woods. Think of LeBron James. Think of Jeter in baseball. Think of Mookie. These guys, Kobe. I love using Kobe. Their focus is they're able to capture the relevant info they need and maintain it as long as they need it. Okay, where I call it the filet mignon. When you're looking out there on the field, whatever it is, I want you to capture the filet mignon. That's the most relevant information you need in order to perform. So when our focus is off, now we're capturing a big greasy cheeseburger with special sauce. Now all of a sudden, for one, and this is all math, if you had to process, let's say the filet mignon is 3 things, boom, 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 and then we're going to react from that. So it takes less time to process 3 things versus, let's say, there's 6 or 8 things in that greasy cheeseburger. So right there, by processing more info, our reaction time is off. We're already slower. So now you just go back to your hitting. Now when your reaction time is off, the ball's getting on you sooner, right? Or it's getting by you. Now you got to cheat and start guessing or getting in front, and everything goes out of whack instead of clearing your brain. So we want to get that filet mignon and continue to learn to train the brain to capture that filet mignon. And the athletes that can do so, keep playing. You know, with the speed of the game, if our brain can't work fast enough, so if it can't work fast enough, because we can't move until the brain says we can move. Right. Okay, so you know, if it takes longer to process info, we got to wait. Now I can move. But if we process it fast, bam, I can move right away. Okay, so that's as the game speeds up, high school, college, pro, the game keeps getting faster and faster.
Yes,
if you can't keep up with the speed of the game, no matter how athletic you are, you're not going to be able to perform. You're not going to be consistent. Maybe occasionally you'll be successful, but we want to have this consistency. And that's one of the hardest things for athletes. We have amazing athletic people, but they're not consistent or they can't perform. And D, I'm sure you say, like, you had guys you played with and you go, oh my gosh, this guy, he's an all-star. He's got these tools, but he's not consistent, or he can't get out of high A, or can't get out of double A.
Right.
Well, they drafted him in the top 5 rounds, so athletically, he's got something going on. What is his shortcoming? Physically, do it. And a lot of the time, it gets right here. We get in the way of ourselves in performing at a higher level and being consistent. So I like to use the term, too, when we do this, we're training in the chaos. We make it a little more chaotic. And those are times in the game where it's a critical performance situation. Oh my gosh, you're 0-2 and this guy's a nasty slider and I got to do this, or pitching wise, or fielding is like, I booted that last, I got to get this next one. So when we're able to perform in the chaos becomes less chaotic. Does that make sense? Yep. So when you performed at that high level and found success, all of a sudden our baseline is at the high level. It's not here at practice and I'm turning on for the game, coach. No, we need to be practicing up here or higher. So when we're at the game, we want to have that really quiet brain and that quiet body. And some people may not understand what that is. I mean, you know, at that level, the crazier it gets, the louder the crowd, the umpire, the bad calls, whatever it is, the quieter you have to be.
Facts.
And that's when you really have to tune out everything. And that's what I'm trying to, like, the Tiger, the Kobe's, those guys that have just amazing focus.
Yep. That's
why they're able to perform better. Because there's guys that outdrive Tiger. There's guys that you could jump higher than Kobe or whatever. But how come they're not doing the same things? Yep. So we have 2 equally gifted athletes. All right, they're equal athletically. This guy processes info faster, has better focus. This guy doesn't process fast, doesn't have as good focus. This guy's going to win all the time. He's going to be more consistent. This guy occasionally is going to make some amazing plays. Right. But this guy's going to be every day. Think of athletes like I know he just retired, but Dustin Pedroia, as an infielder there. You look at him, and I got to see him in the clubhouse. He's nothing special to look at. Nothing against you, Dustin, but he doesn't look like he fits in a Major League Baseball clubhouse.
Right.
But the confidence that guy has because of the focus, and good focus creates more confidence.
That's right.
More focus, that anxiety of the game goes down because you're not letting the other stuff get in your head.
That's right.
It's like, and so you got Dustin Pedroia versus some other beast, and Dustin Pedroia wins the MVP, All-Star, Gold Glove, World Series, and is like, how can he do that? Because athletically, he's not the guy.
No.
I think it's a good example. David Eckstein. I'm going back to the older guys, but
I use him as an example all the time. But go ahead, please. All the
look
time.
at him. He was the shortstop or second base. Shortstop, I think.
Shortstop.
And I saw him. I remember I saw him in Double-A. He was with the Red Sox in Trenton, and he hit like 330, 340. I mean, he could rake. You know, I mean, his swing looked awful and weak, but he got the hits. You scratch your head. But I see him defensively, and they get the ball to him, and look like he's throwing it with all of his might, the big low arc or big high arc, but it got there every time. Every time.
They released him. The Red Sox released him.
Not the fastest guy, but this is a guy that was able to perform at a high level. And this is where it's that mental side, but we can actually develop that. We have tools now to do this, and the Strobe training is a great tool. And kind of go into some of the stuff with baseball. We'll have guys hit off the tee with it, and then with the tee, since the ball's not moving, I can keep making this harder. I'm going to go up to the top here. Is that the top? All right. So it's 910 milliseconds of occlusion.
Okay.
So you can't see, you're not going to catch anything moving, but I want you to move your body to the ball. And I'm from Little League on up, you can do this. What happens is we're going to feel our swing much more than what we see. When we take away info from the eyes, the brain still says, I need my info. Where am I going to get it? So it's going to get it from your muscles and your nerves. So now you're going to feel everything. Did I roll over on that swing? Did I get under? Did I cast? Where was my weight? Was it 50-50? Those are the things when we have great body control, we can make adjustments. And, D, it's all about making adjustments. And if you can't do it yourself, you hope a coach can figure it out. But sometimes the coach can't help you either. So you're on your own. You going to say something?
Yeah. So I heard you say little leaguers. So, from an age group, starting with a product like what you have over there, it starts as young as little leaguers can use this product.
I got 10-year-olds, on up, using the product. And like I said, we want to teach players or athletes, to have better reaction time, have better focus. If you have better focus, you're going to be more successful. Anxiety goes down, and you're not going to be listening to mom screaming in the background, or dad, or the coach. So we want at a young age to start training these athletes in order to have better focus. And I could scream at a kid all day and say, hey, I want you to focus. He goes, yeah, coach, I'm nodding his head. I'm squinting my eyes. That means I'm focusing better. I'm holding my breath. But a lot of people don't know how to focus or to train to focus. So we can actually do that. So we got you guys hitting off the tee, and make it a low level now. Front toss, side toss. Even, we'll do off the machine. I don't like doing live pitching just in case you have a bad pitcher. You got to throw some two-seamer that's going to get you here. We don't want to do that. But again, whatever you're doing, we want to make it more difficult. And the beauty is the brain will respond and find a way to be successful. Our brain is so lazy. It doesn't want to have to do any more than it has to. That's how it's made to be the most super efficient computer. Doesn't want to have to do a whole lot.
Right.
All right. So we're going to make it do that, and it will learn and it will adapt. So those are the things. So on the fielding side, short hops. We can do, catchers blocking balls, blocking pitches with this. They're all masked up. They're not going to get hurt.
Right.
We can do drop steps. Drop the ball over your left shoulder, over your right shoulder. Go back and catch that ball. And also, again, we're making it harder. You will be able to do it. That's a beautiful thing. And then all of a sudden the game gets easier. So
how long is that training? Like how long? So it looks like it's flashing, and your eyes are, having to focus. Is that sound about right?
Yeah. So you see that's flashing, right?
Yeah, I see it.
And we from 5 to 10 minutes or even more per day. So it's like lifting weights. If you only did this once a month, you're not going to have that same strength. You're going to get there and then it's going to drop off. So we want to continue to work on this like lifting weights. And then the more we put on here, it's like adding plates, to that bench press. Add an extra 5 pounds. Let's go up again. Let's add an extra 5 pounds or 10 pounds and make the brain have to do this stuff. On pitchers, you love to do it with balance and have guys, even throw part of their pin with this. And then we always want to finish with them off so that our brain and our body come back in sync with one another. So I mean, so that's baseball. You can talk about it offensively, defensively, catcher, pitchers. It applies to everyone. Now, D, I'm gonna blow your mind here because there's some different modes besides the level. So now I'm gonna push it. So you see one eye's blinking, one eye's not. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
How safe is that over there? You know, Mike and Mama gonna get killed out there with one eye blinking, like, you know?
This is, again, we can do these drills with the one eye. So what this is everyone has a weak eye and a dominant eye. And the dominant eye says, I'm gonna do all the work. And the weak eye says, all right, you're not letting me work. We're gonna block out that dominant eye, make the weak eye have to give the brain the info it needs. I'll have guys hitting off a tee or front toss, single eye. And we can always flip it around if the other eye is your dominant eye.
Mm-hmm.
And they may, swing and miss, foul tip or whatever. And I'm talking about professional guys. Right. But then all of a sudden they start figuring it out with that weak eye. The weak eye will say, okay, here's where I need to be to hit this ball. And we keep doing that, whatever the drill may be, and we take them off. The guys say, I feel like I got two eyes now. His eye is like woke up and alive. So we can actually train that weaker eye. A lot of times, in our field of vision that we have, the weak eye and dominant eye, the weak eye is going to give us information too late. It's often, the pitch is biased, the play is biased, or incomplete information, or incorrect information. So if the brain's getting poor information, it can't put the body in a good position successfully, right?
Right.
If we get that filet mignon, the brain can go, boom, I need to be right here. But if we don't, if we get part of the filet mignon and a big hunk of cheese or fat, all of a sudden we don't have as good information. So that's what we're doing. We make the eye, give the brain better info. Now it can be in a better position. For hitting, every hitter has a blind spot in their strike zone. There's that spot in the zone where it's just tough to hit that pitch. We can put it on a tee all day and hit it off that tee in that zone. But now we got the game going on, and all of a sudden now we can't hit it. How come? And a lot of times is that, again, the weak eye is giving you poor info. So we can make it better. Now that weakness or that blind spot in the zone becomes less of one. So, again, better info that we get, the better output that we have. So we're talking about reaction time, which everyone needs to improve. When you improve your reaction time, now the pitches seem slower. I'm picking up the ball sooner. I can track it longer. So now I'm getting it sooner, longer. I'm getting more information. The more information I have and good information, easier it's going to be for me to hit that ball. But if things are happening too fast, now I'm going to be guessing a little bit. So that's a thing about reaction time. It's just, even just a little bit is going to make the difference. I have guys that'll wear the glasses and just, sit behind, the cage or the catcher and just track pitches. Nice. And just track pitches and just watch it and watch it and watch it. And all of a sudden now we take them off. Again, we're picking up better information. We're seeing it sooner. We're seeing it quicker. So, I mean, there's a ton of applications that you can do even if you're not on the field. I want to speed up your brain. I want you to make better focus. I want your brain and body to talk to one another and have better balance. And if we can do that, then we're definitely successful.
Let me ask you this. So, is it good to use, is this strict? Because it seems like it kind of could be tough to use this like pregame or, like early during batting practice, or is it something that kind of gradually get into that point where your eyes are used to this? Because I'm just saying, like, let's just say not big leaguers or professional ball players. Let's just say youth baseball players. Is it something that, let's just say they're playing on a Saturday at 2:00? Is it good for them at 12 o'clock in the day, during the day to put these glasses on, to swing away over there and work on their focus and then go out and play? Would it affect their vision at all or what?
No, we're not changing the vision. We're just changing the brain. So even if you're doing your dynamic warm-up, you're doing your stretches and your lunge twist and stuff, you could have the glasses on. And that's going to help with your balance, working on your balance. Again, before a game, you're going to be hitting off a tee or soft toss or whatever. So part of that time, do it with the glasses on. It's not going to hurt you. But again, we want to prime the brain and get it going real fast and efficiently, like that Bugatti. So it's not going to hurt you before a game. I wouldn't just play catch with it, because at certain speeds, when the ball's going too fast at you, then you may get hurt. So we don't use it for play and catch. But all the other things, if you're getting some ground balls, the two of you are together, you're throwing short hops at each other, before the game, absolutely put them on. Like I said, the drop step, if you're going to track some fly balls, and if you don't like a baseball, use a tennis ball. Use something softer, more safe. But the thing is, you'll be amazed as to how these kids will respond. They will be successful with this, but again, the brain's lazy. So if we don't make it work, that you're still gonna be doing the same thing. But
what's the ideal time frame? So let's just say, here it is, May 1st or August, when teams are made for youth baseball. Like, from a training purposes, how often per week should a player use this, and when? I mean, I guess like anything, like you said, weightlifting, you start seeing results eventually. But is there a time frame of about 6-week training program or anything like that that's involved? So say I purchase this, is there a training that goes along with it as far as like how long it takes, or is it something that you just have to implement in your training and use it early and often?
Yeah, I mean, you can see results immediately. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is that you put it on, 5 or 10 minutes, and you take them off, and then the guys will say, like, gosh, I just see the ball so much better. I see it sooner. The quiet in the brain is like, oh my gosh, my focus is better. It's hard to put into words sometimes what they're feeling, but so I kind of have to put it into words for them. You go, man, I'm seeing everything so quick. Well, you're getting rid of all that irrelevant stuff that clouds the way. So you're going to see results right away with this, and again, the more often you do it, the better it's going to be for your brain. We want to keep challenging that brain a little more and a little more. But, just like, you're training in baseball, whether it's your weightlifting, you're running, that you're going to do that weightlifting and running throughout the whole season, throughout the year. Right. So this is just another piece. This is another tool in the toolbox that you use. And again, this is something that, nothing against you, D, or any coaches, but a coach can't make you do. A coach can't make the electricity in your brain turn on and make it work faster. Maybe a little bit by fear. If you go, hey, if you mess up this play or we're gonna have to run sprints. Kids will find a way to focus a little bit. Right. But we don't want to train them in fear. We want them to have just that quiet mind. So that's something the coach can't do. And again, creating that focus, or making that single eye, both eyes, get that focus better. Again, something that unfortunately, you as a coach cannot do. But the product is here. It works. Whoever gets the product, I'm a partner with you. So if you get it, you as a coach, whoever, say, hey, Mike, I got a question. What do you think? Here's my team. Here's the timeline we have. What should we do? What are some of the drills to do? And I'm happy to do that because, again, one of the biggest pieces is education. Once you know about the piece, then you're going to find out, like, this is amazing. How, for what to be able to change my performance to be better. And I know you'd be a gym rat or a cage rat and get in there and you're going to take your 50 swings or 100 swings. And like, the more you take, the better you're going to be. You know what I mean? So, and that's not always the case. So we want you to I'm losing my train of thought right now.
I'm sorry, I posted that. Yeah, I posted that.
Delmar just popped up on there, so thank you, Delmar. No, but we want to have quality swings. We don't have like a million swings. That does not do you a lot of good. But we want to be that super focused, that super quiet, the super feeling our body, and let's do 10 or 20 of those swings versus 50 or 100 swings off a tee. Because the brain's lazy, it's not going to be able to focus for 50 or 100 swings. It won't. Right. And all of a sudden, those are just wasted energy that you're doing. So, we make practice a little more efficient too. And, I love the guys that grind it out and take the extra stuff, and that will help you make better over time. But this will kind of push that a little quicker, a little sooner than it would elsewise, if you weren't training like this. But I appreciate D, because he's always open-minded. We've been talking about some other great things with his program. I want to add to him and to his athletes.
let me ask you this, Mike. So when they order this, how and where can they order it? And is it different price points? Obviously, going to have different sizes, right, for little leaguers all the way up to major league guys. So,
I mean, it has a strap. So the strap is adjustable. It'll fit, most all sizes. The small kids, we're talking about 8, 9 years old, it may be a little off, so you just got to make it tighter because the width of the glasses isn't going to change really.
Okay.
So you got a narrower head, a small little head. I mean, they can still use it. And again, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Doesn't fit, you don't like it, send it on back. No harm, no foul. And if they want to get it, strobetraining.com. And there are 2 different models, so just showing them. So you got the, here we go. The orange is the Sport Plus Tactical, and the bottom one is a Sport. The differences are the tint. This is more of a shooter's tint. Some guys prefer this. Some guys prefer the other tint. The levels of occlusion on this one, let me go back to the single eye here. They go up in bigger increments. So, and you can find it on the website. It goes from 10. Let me see that. Can you see 10? Oop, I got to send it up there. I don't know. 10, which means 100 milliseconds of occlusion. So we can't see for 100 milliseconds, followed by 100 milliseconds of you can see. All right. So we're controlling how much you can't see. When it's clear, it's always clear for 100 milliseconds. So it goes from 100 to 150 to 210, 210, 280, 350, 450, 550, 660, 780, and 910. So at the higher levels, we're talking about doing balanced exercises. So if you're in the gym, you can do some on the Bosa ball, or you're doing your RDLs and those are great drills to do to work on balance. And one of the last skills to develop for any player is balance. On the other model here, the occlusion go up in smaller increments. So it goes from 70 to 100. Oops, let me get out of the mode here. To 130, 160. So it goes up in smaller increments. So as things are moving and more moving objects, this you can kind of fine tune or dial in to exactly how much resistance you're able to accept on your brain. Because this one jumps up in a little higher increments, but it's better for balance at the high end. This is smaller increments. And again, I'm happy to answer questions offline if you want to call or email. And
these a couple of questions that came in, Mike. All right. Sean asks, how does the player user measure the results? Is there a software component to it?
There is a software component in a way that there's an app. This new company take over manufacturing, so they have to re-up for the app and pay the licensing fee in order to do so. And that will allow you to control the glasses from your phone. So, which is really cool. You can stop it, you can pause it, you can change the modes, you can go up and down, makes it really easy. But otherwise, you can do all the same things with the buttons on the side here. Okay. How they measure results? It's not something where, hey, your batting average went from here to there. You're just going to see the increase in the performance. So if you do squats, how do you measure your performance in squats as it relates to baseball? That's not something that's really hard to measure. But you will see that reaction time, and again, don't take my word for it. Read the studies, a lot of studies on the website there, that we're going to improve reaction time and focus. They have a study, University of Cincinnati baseball team with the old Nike glasses, and it's on the website there, that their team batting average went up 34 points from one year to the next with the vision training that they did. And the strobe training was one of the tools that they used. So, 34 points, that's pretty amazing. The rest of the Big East in that year, team batting average went down on average. They had implemented a new bat that same year, which was less aggressive. So you can have less production from those bats. So even with the lesser bat, that their batting average was going up. So that's something measurable. And again, every athlete's going to do things differently. But the thing I always say, listen to the athlete. It's just like, wow, I'm seeing the ball better. I'm seeing it sooner. Look, see how he's squaring it up. Listen to the sound of the ball off the bat. When we streamline that brain and get rid of all that stuff, it's able to work quicker. All of our functions are going just towards that movement. And I hear guys where the ball is different coming off the bat from them. Have I measured it? I haven't had the time. I mean, that's part of my fault to go into some places and go, okay, let's look at bat speed, because you got all these measurements that you can do and see how much better is my bat speed before and after training with strobe training. So that's something that's on my schedule to do. And I apologize, I couldn't say that, but I'm not a scientist, so I don't want to overstate anything that I'm not 100% certain of, just in all fairness there. And I think Dee can attest to that. Like, I'm gonna, when I was with Nike guy, I'm gonna be responsible. I'm gonna do my stuff. I'm gonna be, if you need to get a hold of me, I'm there. That's just how I am. When I was fortunate in New York, working with Jeter and A-Rod and all those guys, that they have a level of trust with me because their expectations are in line with mine. That I want to. They need to be serviced to take care of at a high level, and that's what I consider, all of my customers or potential customers to do. How many D1 and pro organizations incorporate this training with the organizations? I mean, there's probably about 6 big league organizations that do that, and probably about the same or so D1. I'm doing more personal type of stuff than the team piece, and there's one of me. And so the people that know how to explain it to these organizations, there's not many people that do that. So I'm in Arizona. I'm in spring training. So working with the Rockies, they're doing it. The Washington Nationals have it at all levels of the organization. But even some of these teams that have it don't know how to really implement it as well as they should. There's so many different things that we can do, different drills, and then we can do the single eye. We can do the dominant eye. We can do so many different things. So it really takes an education piece in order to have people understand it. And the more they do, the more the product is bought in. So this past winter, I was at the Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association, and speaking to their coaches, they had over 3,000 coaches there. I'm going to be at the American Baseball Coaches Association this next year. I don't know if I'm going to present, but definitely going to be there. And my whole piece is going to educate and get it out. Go to the website. There's a ton of videos on there. Go to Instagram, Strobe Training, Strobe_training, Twitter, Strobe Training, YouTube channel, Strobe Training, and just, I'm trying to get more stuff out there, more education. And Sean, I hope I answered your question. And if I didn't, shoot me another one real quick.
We got one coming too. My boy Mario says, what's the difference between this and Snapchat? Okay, so, why is there $100 in difference in cost?
Gotcha. So originally it was the Nike Vapor Strobe glasses, and I said Nike got out, and then Synaptech came in, and they did a knockoff of the Nike glasses. All right, and so then with these glasses, this company Vima that came in, and the original guy that made the original Nike glasses, Dr. Alan Reichow, took the glasses, the original Nike one, and made some big improvements to it. So this is the 3rd generation of the glasses. So Synaptech is still that Nike knockoff. For a couple things, if you look at the Synaptech, when the lenses go, they go dark instead of light or clear. These allow natural light to come in. Synaptech will go like dark, like some super dark sunglasses. All right, so now you got the pupils are dilating, opening and closing like that. So that's not a natural environment that an athlete would play in. You can play in either artificial light or natural light, and so we want that stuff to come through. So that's one of the main differences. And the other part is the lenses too. This is all ballistic plastic, so if you took a ball off here, it will not shatter into your eyes. So the original Nike ones weren't ballistic plastic. So if you took some of the face there, there's just some more modes and some more levels to these glasses. Plus Synaptech, you don't get me, because if you look on their website or things there, nothing against them, they're doing a business and do it differently. You're not going to see a lot of videos or how-tos, and that's what I want to do, is to maximize. You're going to spend $400, $500 for a pair of glasses. I want to make sure you get more of your value for it than that. Otherwise, why buy it if you're not seeing the value in it? And I want you to say, man, I love it so much. I want to tell my other teammates, my other people about it. And again, I'm only as good as my reputation, and that's what I share with D. And so I wouldn't be on here with D if I was going to, try to pull someone's leg or, try to do a bait and switch. There was one other question just before that, D. I missed it there. Oh, was it about the app? I think.
Yeah, it wasn't an app. It was an app connected to it.
So the app is, yes, the app for, thank you, Mario. It is, and again, it needs to be renewed, the license renewed, because of the change of ownership from Vima to Benovi with the glasses. And so it's a licensing deal. I don't know when it's going to be done. I apologize for that. I'm not responsible, but I apologize for it. And so you should be able to download the app when it's available and to be able to connect your glasses to your phone and control it. Then you can disconnect the glasses from the phone and you can connect multiple glasses. You can control up to 6 glasses at a time with the app. The thing is, you have to change from each glass each time you do it. So on your phone, it'll have 6 different serial numbers of the glasses. And you click on the one that you want to control. So Mario, I don't have an ETA, but yes, there will be an app for it. I don't have my phone with me right here. Otherwise, I'd show you kind of what it looks like.
All right. Nadine says, not sure if I missed it, but does this product benefit all baseball positions or just certain ones?
No, Nadine, great question. So that's part of it. Like, there haven't been a lot of education about it. So people go, hey, let's just flip a tennis ball back and forth, and that's good. So yes, we can do stuff for hitting. Obviously, that's the nut we're all starting, trying to crack. How can you figure out hitting and be consistent at that level? So yes, for hitting, I said off the tee work, front toss, side toss. You hit off the machine. We could do coach with the short pitching, maybe 45 feet or so. Let's do that. Fielding. So yes, we're talking about all fielders. We can work on our short hops. Again, we do single eye, we can do the other eye, we can do our drop steps for fielding. Catchers, I do have some catchers, catching balls off the machine, that they'll do that. Blocking balls, outstanding for blocking balls. So that's all the position. Pitchers, we'll use it for balance type of things. I want them to feel the pitch more than kind of see where it goes. Because and a former pitcher myself is that if you can't feel it, it's hard to make those adjustments. And you keep throwing that fastball and it's still high and away, and you keep going like, man, it feels like it, but I'm not making that adjustment. So I want the pitchers when they're throwing with this, to have that balance, to feel the ball coming off the fingers, and again get more in tune with their body. When the catcher's throwing it back, let's take the glasses off so you can catch it. And then we can put them back on. I think I have some videos on the site as well. So it does work on all positions. And the thing is, feel free to reach out at me at mike@strobetraining.com. You email me, call me, text me. Any other questions you have, absolutely. Because I just want to make better ball players. End of the day, I'm not getting rich doing this, But if we can make better players and they can, get on a high school team or varsity team or start or get to go play, college ball or junior college ball or go beyond that. That's what we're all trying to do. That's where Dee's heart's at and that's where my heart's at. And, both of us could probably look and go, I wish we had a better career in baseball. I wish I had a longer career in baseball. Dee, you got to play a number of years at the big league level. Myself, I didn't. I didn't get out of AA. And, the last year I can say for a fact that it was between my ears more than it was physical. Because I would start, I know I was getting a little older. So like I had to have a great performance in order to move up. And my performance was off a little bit. Then the next game, I had to do even better. And then now I'm squeezing the ball harder and just all the stuff is going in my head. And now velocity is down so I see
Mike,
the short.
Let me ask you this real fast though. So for somebody that has contacts, and I didn't know if you said anything about that, but does that affect, obviously, is that going to affect their vision to, with having, contacts in it, or what?
Yeah, no. If you have contacts, you'll be fine. You'll be fine with that. If you need to have some vision piece, some glasses, whatever there is, and I can talk to folks offline where there's like a piece you can buy that fits inside the glasses, so you can have prescription inside the glasses here and still see through. I have a number of shooters, whether clay shooters or pistol shooters. So you got some older gentlemen that have prescription like myself, that these don't come in prescription, but you can have that insert you can make. They'll go inside for prescription. I mean, there are the things, if you are susceptible to seizures, yes, you don't want to use the glasses. If you have, some folks have light sensitivity. So, I mean, and you'll find out if you have that. Migraines, some people are prone to migraines. They may not like the glasses. So it's not for everyone, but I've come across, I think, 2 people in all the folks I've talked to that had some, that felt a little funky with the glasses. But again, 30-day money back. And
what is the cost? I ain't look. What are the costs?
I don't want to force anything on anyone, but I want to be there as that support person, as that reference.
Okay. So what's the best way again? How many? Is it just go on the website to look up and then they can holler at you if they have any other more questions? Is the best way to do it is via email or so here's the website again.
Yeah, so the email, thank you, D. Yeah, so that's your website, and then you just have the email up, mike@strobetraining.com. And on the website, there's a contact link. You hit the contact, you can send me an email. My cell phone's on there, so you could call me direct. And, I'm happy to have the conversation there. But, check out Instagram. A lot of video, a lot of football stuff that I have kind of going on recently.
I'm about to say, yeah, you do other sports too. I heard you mention that earlier. What can you say one more time? What other sports is included?
Sure. I mean, football. Again, we're talking about reaction time, focus, and balance. So it applies to every sport. But football, think about receivers, coming out of their cut and the ball's right there. You have to have incredible reaction time in order to catch the ball there. As quarterbacks, as you're reading the defense, you have to see things sooner and make decisions so quick. Again, the sooner we can process it, then the easier it becomes. Linebackers, defensive backs, linemen working on their hand drills and their swim drills in order to, if again, they're able to react a little better, they're getting off the ball sooner. They're getting a little half step on the defensive guy. So football, there's, some videos of online. You check out Antonio Brown doing some stuff on a Bosa ball, single leg on a Bosa ball with arm restraints. And he's catching footballs. So he's overtraining, and that's what we're kind of doing with the class here. We want to overtrain so when the crazy time doesn't become crazy. So we want to make the crazy time like this is a simple play. This is a simple part of the game. Instead of thinking we can always turn it on for the crazy time, which most people can't. And you're fortunate if you can. MMA, they got fired. MMA and boxing. Same thing. So we won't do sparring while they actually get hit, but they'll be working on pads, they'll be working on bags, they'll be working on their footwork, on their slipping, which is avoiding pitch.
Yeah, I could see that really working well for boxing.
I have this guy, Killer Gorilla. You check him out. Jared Cannonier, middleweight. We were doing we did a Nerf gun with the little darts. So he had the glasses on, and I'm shooting the Nerf gun at him, and he's got to dodge the bullet. So we can have fun with that too. Yeah. Golf, really kind of scratch into that putting and chipping, and quiet the brain, really feel the swing, really feel the ball coming off the putter. Those are all things. Now, something that I'm just talking to a guy about is gaming. So this is big. Is like if you're able to have better reaction time when you're playing your games, all of a sudden you're getting the jump on your competition. Now we have better focus.
Right.
And now your percentage of hits goes up. Because
that may be your biggest one over there, the biggest sell over there. You get that, get in that gaming thing, because Lord have mercy.
Yeah, but my heart's in sport. My heart's in baseball.
I know.
So that's what I want to be. But and there is, some people ask me, and I don't have the true study to say it, but from just feedback I've gotten from folks is that, you put this on before you do your homework. And all of a sudden, it kind of clears your brain and makes you focus more so that you're more focused in doing your work and have less distractions. So I can't say that scientifically that it's been proven, but just the anecdotal stories that I've gotten is that, yes, it does help. And again, our brain's lazy. It doesn't like to focus. It wants to focus on the screen, but you're looking at it and then you go, what's behind the screen? What's on the wall back there? What's that picture of Griffey? Is that Griffey back there? Yeah, you're not looking at me. You get tired of looking at me, so you start looking at other things.
Right.
And we need to train the brain as athletes to really capture that filet mignon and avoid that greasy bacon cheeseburger.
Listen, I got the concept. I understand. I love what you said. Basically, the older you get, I talk about my own daughter with this, and how you have to be focused, and the higher levels you go, the more you can kind of get caught up in what's going on, except for, what's really important and, tunnel vision type of focus that you need. And I think this is the main concept of this, glasses to help you get tunnel vision, literally. And I think that parents need to understand that aspect. That's why I brought you on here. But Mike, I thank you for that, but I want you to kind of end with a great message in a minute. I want to be coming up on this hour, but if you could, just hit us with this great message. And again, I'm going to put the website up in the email for anything. But parents, again, May 22nd, I will be down in Pompano Beach, Florida. And then I just got the okay today for my Houston, Texas people. I know I've been trying to get down to Houston over there, but down by Cavers over there, hometown. Right. So I just literally got the okay. I'm gonna talk to my guy over here, but Lutheran Southern College, we're going to be coming down there May 29th. All right. So for my H-Town people that I literally earlier this week and last week, I was like, I don't think the showcase is going to go through. I just got the okay. So we're a month out. So I will have the link up there hopefully by tomorrow. But for May 29th, we are going to do it Houston, Texas. I wanted to have it done and then get down to H-Town, and it's happening. So shout out to my boy Lynn over there with 5 Tool and for making this happen. And so May 29th, Houston, Texas. May 22nd, we are going to be in Pompano Beach, marketing that in the bottom. And then June 2nd, we're going back out to Little Rock because of the issue that we had last week. And so it's going to be a busy little 2 weeks over there for me over there, but we're going to make this happen. Come on out, multiple locations, and we're working on New Jersey and Montgomery, Alabama in June. So we're working, all right? We're grinding in multiple locations, and we're getting this thing done. So anyway, Mike, tomorrow I'll be joined by my boy Vic Radcliffe. We're going to talk a little sports. We're going to talk a little youth baseball, man. We're going to talk about the difference in, winning and developing. All right. That's going to be the subject of tomorrow when it comes to this youth baseball space. Me and Vic is my guy. We always have great conversation. So we're going to come on and talk about this tomorrow on that end. Okay. So, Mike, if you could, brother, being in and around the game for 40 years now, you know what I'm saying? 40, plus, I'm calling you out, right? Or more, whatever. But professionally, all the way up to where you are now, man. So if you could, man, just wrap it up with a great message, man, being in and around the game and seeing why you're a part of this, strobe training and all of that. You can wrap up with a great message. I'd appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, no, I've been fortunate enough to play a long time, fortunate enough to be around some great players. And so, and just my own experiences, and I just want to share that with youth baseball players, with those coming up, with parents, because you don't know what you don't know. So you surround yourself with good people like a D that says, hey, he's been there through the pressures, through the good, through the bad, and what I see with former professional guys work with athletes is that they are calm. They don't get caught up in all the hoopla of the parents and all that stuff and the win the tournament, lose the tournament type of thing, and stats don't go in the back of your baseball card. It is that let your kids play, let them find a passion for the game, because even when they're done playing, we want them to be a fan of the game. I think it's important, and hopefully they learn well that then they can be instructors on their own once they're done and pass that along. It's an amazing sport. And we just need to get just more more people getting on board and just make some better athletes. Football, hey, you can make a whole lot more money in baseball than in football.
Facts.
In basketball, there's only 11 guys on a team or so. You got 25, 26 in baseball. So these good athletes should be looking at, getting into baseball here because, again, if you're able to perform at that level, much longer career, much more money. And I just think it's more satisfying. That's all I got to say. But Dee and I talking offline with some other stuff about his program and what his business is, and some good things are going to start happening here. So I'm excited for everyone that was on the podcast here, on the call here, on the video, and thank you very much for your time.
I'll be listening. Yeah. So, and on the replay, just remember, if you don't see the red light on top left, you're listening to the replay. The link, and I will put the link to the website and Mike's email in the description. And when I get off here, so you have access to it. I know we sometimes get long-winded before you get the actual information of the website and the email, and it's 30 minutes into it. And I know sometimes people's mind, can't stay on it long enough. So I will put it in there instantly. And you guys have access to him to reach out, please. Listen, right now there's alarming the strikeout. Last time I saw last week in the major leagues right now, there are more strikeouts than hits. All right, so something is going on right now where I know that the process, everything is okay to strike out right now, but Mike and I came up with a time where he would try to strike you out and you didn't feel like a real player if you were just striking out all the time. So there is a need for this, how to focus in and not strike out so damn much. You know what I'm saying? Up there. So, I promote this product. Please, you know what I'm saying? Go out there and reach out to my boy if you have any questions about this product and the program. Okay. So, Mike, I love you, my brother. Thank you so much for coming on.
One other thing, you were talking about strikeouts. I look at strikeouts and walks. If you strike out a lot, it's good, but you better walk a lot. You look at the guys, look at the Trouts, look at the Pujols, look at these guys. Jim Thome, the Hall of Famers, that they punched out a lot. We look at their walks. They walked an incredible amount compared to others. So that's the other side of it. I'm sorry, I just want to throw that in.
You are absolutely correct. All right. And the problem is, Mike, they ain't walking. You know what I'm saying? So there's all these strikeouts that's up, man. But listen, just, everything we trying to do over here is just make sure you're a better ball player. That's it. Just like my boy Mike said. So reach out to him. Tomorrow we'll be on with a different topic, man. Mike, I love you, my brother. Thank you for coming on over here, man. Peace and love. All right. And parents, I'll see you on 4 p.m. tomorrow. All right. Take care.
Thank you, D.
No doubt, Mike. Love you, brother.